Hi there, I'm going to do a little variation on that last video series on the sunsuit, only this time I'm going to do it for the 18-inch Journey girls. You can do it for the bigger dolls too, you just have to increase the size a little bit on your printer. We're going to do some little, first I'm going to start with the little shorts down here. If you've got that pattern for my exercise shorts with knits, it's basically the same thing for the short bloomers or baggy drawers, whatever you want to call these. Some people even call them knickers. I'm not really sure what they're called. But you can use any short pattern that you have that uses elastic in the waistband and is big enough to just slip on. So I took the outer for the larger shorts and then I just swung it down a little bit because you kind of want, when you're working with these little underneath shorts like that, you kind of want that to flare down like a V so you get that cute little look on your shorts. Let me see if I can turn that so you can see what I mean. Do you see how you want that little up a little bit on the side look? So how to get that is you just take your short pattern in half. Instead of going straight across like this, you just sort of, if this was the pattern, you sort of just swing up a little bit to the side and that'll give you that little, you know, flare up on the side. So any favorite short pattern you have will work. Some of your short patterns have a different front than the back, but on the Journey girls, because they're so flat in the middle, you can use the front and the back as the same pattern piece. So anyway, any of your short patterns were just, you know, most patterns come with this basic short pattern, so it's really simple just to adjust it and use it for these little drawers. Okay, this is the same pattern as I used for the sunsuit, only I cut the legs off of it and went straight across, but it's the exact same pattern. And I just put a, I call it a forced bubble instead of a ruffle on here, and basically all that is an offset. Instead of just folding the fabric in half, you offset it and you get that little fluff. I mean, if you really want to put a really big fluff in there, you can insert netting in there, but I'll show you how easy it is to do that. Okay, but let's start with the shorts first. Should take her bracelet off, but we'll just pull it down. Okay, this is Kyla. She's a Journey girl. She's one of the first Journey girls I bought. I bought Dana first, and then I bought Kyla, and then I bought Kelsey and Jordana, and I forget how many I have. Okay, so that's basically the shorts. And if you don't like this look up here on the waist, just do one seam, don't do two. I used bias tape. But if you want it to be not so gathery on top, then don't do the second seam. On the next pair I won't do that, so you'll see what the difference looks. And if you want to not use bias tape, you can just make this wider up here and then do a double fold. But that's all these are. All they are is a pair of shorts with elastic around the legs, and that's all it is to these. You can make them long down to the knees. I mean, there's so many things you can do, but this is what we're going to make first. So that's all there is to it. You just do your well, we'll go through it one at a time, but I'm going to use bias tape just like I did on the sunsuit. I used bias tape on the waistline and bias tape around the legs. And then you can add whatever you'd like for trim. I was looking, I bought a big bag of trims from a lady at a garage sale, and they were all the old vintage stuff. So I went online to see if I could find out what year this vintage stuff was, and I couldn't figure it out, but I'm assuming that this trim text is probably from the 50s. It sure looks like it because they're 15 cents, and then this is because it went up to 25 cents when it went to Wright's, when they changed the name to Wright's Trim Tex. But you know, somebody on Etsy selling this stuff so expensive. 4 little packages for $42. That's like over $10 a piece, $10.50 a piece. Unbelievable. Makes me not want to open it up and see if I could sell it. I just can't believe anybody would pay that price for something you can get at the garage sales or swap meets for 5 cents. Anyway, you can use any kind of trim on here. That would be really cute too, to do a rickrack around the legs. This is another one I bought. This was from 1995. This was part of that bag of $5 of stuff I bought. But this would look cute too. This is from 1995. And that would be really cute as trim around the legs. There's just so many things you can do, but you can find some really pretty trims, either at, you know, the fabric stores or whatever. This is what I used on this one. This is from Walmart. I paid $2.97 for this. You get 3 yards, so it's about 98 cents a yard. But that's what I used around the sleeves, and I matched the same thing around the legs of the pants, the shorts. The one thing about the Walmart brand though is it does, when they actually work this on the machine, they cut these off so you might want to go through and trim these off so they don't show on your finished project. It's just what they held it on so they could work the machine. But for the price, it's not bad. I mean, $2.97 for 3 yards, you can't really beat that price. So anyway, that's the lace I'm going to use. I'm going to do the same thing, but first we'll start with the shorts, and this time I'm not going to do the double sewing. I'm just going to do the single sewing with the bias tape. I'm going to use, I bought a bunch of Valentine's Day fabric, and I never got around to making anything for Valentine's Day, so I'm going to go ahead and use that. So we're going to cut out 2 of these. We've already got the trim we're going to use. I'm going to use single fold white bias tape. On this you only need a little bit of a container. You don't need the whole thing. Probably, maybe, I don't know, not very much. Just around 2 legs and around and then 1 more for across the back of the dress. And that's basically it. But it's the same exact sweetheart pattern. Same pattern as the sunsuit. It's just straight across the bottom and not with legs. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get my fabric out, and when I come back we'll start actually sewing these little puffy shorts. I'm just going to call them puffy shorts. Okay, I'll be right back.